Well, good morning, folks, and my name is Jerry, and I'm not a big YouTube how-to video guy, but I'm compelled to share this with anybody because I've showed some people this, and they go, "Oh, Jerry, you should make a video and show people how to do that." Oh, okay, I'll do it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So this is a video on my MacGyver of a egg candling lamp, and I was inspired. That's a big word, isn't it? Inspired. I was inspired by attending the Georgia Department of Agriculture's egg candling class, and I came home and I thought I got to buy me one of those. And I went online and looked at all the different versions and stuff. And I didn't want the portable thing. I wanted something stationary, a little bit more permanent. And so I looked at those prices and I thought, oh my gosh, those are expensive. So me being the cheap guy I am, I don't like cheap, resourceful. Me being the resourceful guy I am, I thought I think I can make one that will maybe even be better, and I don't have any disposable income, so it'll be cheaper. All right, so here's what it is. This is an egg candling light. I know everybody's seen one of these before, and I'm probably going to have several breaks in this video because I'm not very good at this stuff, because I'll even drink coffee during my video. Because it's a brisk 29 degrees this morning here in North Georgia. All right, so here it is, and you can see already the cat's out of the bag. It's just a paint can. Well, you're right, it is. But I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to do some, and I've got all these other lights on, so it's not going to really work. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll stop the video, and I'll start it back with the lights out. That way you can see it. Okay, now the egg candling light is on. So now you can see how effective it is. Ooh, that's a good looking egg. And there's the little bitty tiny air sac at the top. That would be a double A. That's a good looking egg. Good looking egg. Piece of fuzz. There's the infamous little bitty air pocket. That would be a double A. See how easy it is just to roll it around? And that's got a little bitty tiny air pocket. A little bitty. Anyway, that's a double A. So you can see how it works. Anyway, so I'll stop it and then we'll start back up when I get all the lights back on. Okay, now I'm back with the lights on. So I'll turn it back on so you can see how it is. But I'm just going to show you what I got into this. And let me move the eggs so I don't knock eggs anywhere. I'll put them up here. Oh, and if you're wondering, man, these are cool as grits, aren't they? Amazon. I don't know what to tell you. Amazon. They're cheap. They're easy to. They come. Some assembly required screwdriver. All right, so I'm going to unplug it, and I'm going to turn it off. So you can see that I went to Home Depot. First of all, the wood is just scrap wood. I found it laying around. But I bought the paint can. I bought this little black round plastic Huda-Gator, and I'll tell you what that is. I bought the electrical box, and I bought the one that has this plate that's designed to be mounted on like a 2x4 or stud or something, whatever. So I bought that one. I bought this one right here, and you can see. And I don't know what you call it, guys. It's just that right there. So I bought that one. And I had the connector, and I bought a cord. I don't know how long it is, but it's just a Home Depot cord. It's Husky. It's 16 gauge. It's 8 feet long, and it's a 8-foot replacement cord is what it says. It's an 8-foot replacement cord, which means there on the other end there's no termination. You just got 3 wires: a hot, a neutral, and a ground. So we're going to talk about the ground. So, and let me open this up. And inside, hopefully you can see this. I'll take the bulb out. And I ended up buying 2 different bulbs to make sure I finally got the right one. But inside, you can see I bought a porcelain light socket. Hopefully you can see in there. So I bought the porcelain light socket in there. Now you got to have some patience doing this because you got to wire it all up. But here's the point I want to make. And let me get to the bulb. So the bulb I found that was most effective is it's a 2200 lumens, 5000 LED. So it's a 20 watt. So it's an LED bulb, but of course it doesn't get all that hot, but it's pretty damn bright. The first one I got wasn't bright enough. So I'll put it back in here. So safety is obviously paramount. So got to make sure it's electrically safe because I homemade it. It's not UL tested or anything like that. This black piece right here in Home Depot, in the electronic section, but kind of go over there where all the electronic stuff is and where they have all the Cat 5, Cat 6 cables for Ethernet and whatnot, all the computer stuff. You'll find these little black thingamajiggers here. And these are actually made to go, like if you make a computer desk and you drill a hole for all your cables to go through, and it comes up and it's real pretty. And it has a little cap that pivots that lays in here that's got a slot for the wires to come up. You know, as far as the interior opening, I will tell you that I bought 2 of these. I brought them home, and I didn't take an egg with me, but I took one of my smallest eggs, and I thought, which one's going to be the best size? So the interior diameter, the cross section, is 1.5 inches. So it's 1.5 inches cross section, aka diameter. So there's the bulb. But what's important is the electrical part. So I've got my meter here. I got my trusty meter. If you don't have a meter, then borrow one from somebody that does. And I got it set up on continuity check, ohms. And I got it on the part where it'll read when it, you hear that? All right, so what I did is when I assembled this and built this being metal, obviously the box being metal, this being metal, that being metal, I wanted to make sure they were all electrically bonded. And when I say bonded, for those who, I told you I'm not a professional, so I'm by no means going to, anyway. I drink coffee because I can. So anyway, it's electrically bonded, and what that means is that that there's no continuity break. It means that the can, the actual internal metal parts of the socket, this electrical box right here, this little piece right here, I've probably got a name, I don't know what it is, clamp, anyway. And all of this is electrically bonded, meaning it is an unbroken path for electrons to flow. So in the event that there be a failure or fault in the electrical circuit, that it would have a path of least resistance, which means instead of me, touching this and then my foot touching the ground and then I become the ground, it will take a easier path of least resistance. It would take an easier path to a direct earth ground, and it would go ground. So you can see, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. See it? It's bonded. That's bonded. That's bonded. So all of this is bonded. So that's electrically safe. Even, I guess, I've never tried this. Let me try this. Yeah, even the little handle here is bonded. How about that? So what's more important, now that I know all of that's bonded, is I'll get the cord to see if my wiring was effective. And now what I'll do is I'm going to use the grounding pin. The grounding pin is the longest pin on your 3-prong cord. So I got a grounding pin, so I'm going to hold that on there, like so. There we go. So you can see that this entire apparatus that I made is not only bonded, but it is wired in such a way that I have an effective ground. So that's important. So safety is paramount. As I used to say, I'm a retired industrial safety specialist, but I used to say in the field is you can't unscramble a scrambled egg. and I like me a lot. So that's my safety motto. All right, so y'all can see that, and I'll plug it back in. I thought about putting a switch in line. I changed my mind because I'm not going to be doing it that much, but you can see that's pretty bright light, y'all. And then you just put this back on there. You tap it a few times. It doesn't have to be airtight. This needs to be light tight, and that's it. So that's my MacGyver. This is my MacGyver of an egg candling light. Egg candling is important. Make sure your eggs are safe to eat. And if you're in the business of selling your eggs, you got to candle them. So that's all I got. Y'all have a great day. And as my great friend Mike Coker would say, bicycle.